course, with the recent layoffs in big tech and the fact that you were one of the data scientists who was kept on shows that you must be an outlier and have a special way of working and adding value to the business that made them decide that, okay, Priya is somebody we want to keep on. So do you have any advice on specific skills that data scientists can look to foster within themselves so that they can be recognized as standout data scientists, either to stay on in a layoff or for those promotions you speak about?
For sure. Yeah. That's so nice of you to say. I will say, I think they kept me on for more selfish reasons because they just needed a data scientist who's worked specifically in ads. So that was my entire role. And a lot of the data scientists that were let go were core data scientists. So they're part of the core team where they work with engineering, they have product managers, they are part of a team where they have PMs, they have software engineers, and they're building a small part of a big app, if that makes sense. And those are the data scientists that end up getting laid off, even though I personally think their technical skills are so high, they work in production level environments. But the thing is, they were working on a small part, a big thing, right? And when that thing gets canceled, no one cares about something maybe hyper optimizing a search parameter. That takes a whole team, right? For Drizzly, for Uber, the small things take a lot of people. And if that small thing is what's going to be cut, you're going to be cut no matter how good you are. And I think that's where I got very lucky because I was the only data scientist for the client side. And I don't build a small part of a big thing. I'm not working on iterations. I build net new models because our clients ask for something. I'm there to deliver it. There's no one else to do that. That's the way Drizzly was set up, where one data scientist owned a different part of the company. Basically, we had an ops data scientist, a search, and I was the strategic partnerships data scientist. And that's the side of the company that was really profitable. So I got lucky. I was on the side of profit and I was their only one. So I think that's why I got to stay. But I would say to make yourself invaluable, you want to propose solutions. You don't want to be a data scientist who focuses on tickets. You know what I mean? If that's what you end up doing, there's always ways to get out of it, change companies, tell your manager that you want to work on something else that's more broad impact. I think you want to be on the side where you're really valued. And if you're gone, this thing can't be built out, if that makes sense. And I was very lucky to be placed into that, pretty randomly. But I mean, I'm here now, so.
Oh, that makes sense. So if I'm hearing this correctly, you want to be a data scientist who essentially adds real world value rather than just focuses on having the best model, the sickest model with the 90 whatever % accuracy.
Absolutely. And that's the part of data science that I didn't realize. I thought you have to be the best at math. You have to be the best at ML. I need to know all of linear algebra. And I did a lot of computational astrophysics in college. So I did learn the math and I did learn machine learning and I learned all of this. That was enough. Honestly, I didn't need more than that, but in my mind, I was always oh, I didn't major in computer science. I'm not ready to be a data scientist. I am telling you, if you can use what you learned and just be smart about the impact you're making in terms of adding value to the business, proposing the right solutions, being creative with your data, and jumping into places where you might not even be needed. They don't even know they need you, right? But then you start proposing solutions and you're hey, you can actually automate this process. You don't need 5 data analysts on it. You could create an automation on the back end that auto-populates the dashboard or something like that. You propose those solutions, you start building it out. That provides immense value. And that's, I think, if you're at a company that allows this, that's how you stay. That's how you get far. That's how you get promoted. It's really about does the VP know who you are? Does does your manager talk about you with other managers? Do they brag about you? That's really what it is, you know?
So I realized just saying that you need more than the technical skills might be pretty vague. And when I was learning data science, that frustrated me as well. So what I've done is team up with this video sponsor Data Camp to actually give you a place where you can learn these subtler skills that will put you ahead. Two modules that are perfect for you if you are looking to level up more than just your technical skills are data storytelling and data skills for business. Data storytelling will probably be a bigger needle mover because a question that many of you will have is, I have a data set, I've analyzed it, now what? This module teaches you how to make the insights you find actually valuable to your employer and how to help you become a difference maker in the business decision-making process. And that is a skill that will not only help you get the job in the first place, but will also help you keep it. I've dropped the links to both of these modules down below, and when you sign up through my link in the description, you get 25% off your subscription. Now back to the video.
That makes sense. When I was transitioning from university, a more academic setting, to the real world, that was the first thing that hit me like a ton of bricks, where it was just like, okay, so they don't actually care about data science. They care about what value data science can generate for them.
Absolutely. And that's truly, I'm not even joking, when I got promoted to a senior data scientist, that was in my review where they said, like, Priya can think about the larger picture and she's not boggled down by metrics. She's not boggled down with like incrementality in optimization. She understands business priorities because like you can, like, if you get to 90%, and you're the only one working on this, you have to move on to the next thing to get the next 90%. It's not about staying and getting that 100% because you're wasting time in other projects and other value and other opportunity in the company. And if you're at like, right now, Uber Ads almost operates like a startup. Like Uber Ads started like in the last couple years, like it's very new. So here it's really about like go, go, go and like generation rather than incrementality. And I think a lot of companies operate that way, especially if you're not at like, you know, Google or Meta, or even if you're at Google and Meta, like there are teams that operate this way, but I think that like that mindset shift of how can I add value to the business and not what are the coolest data science projects, that's what's going to get you far. Because sometimes the most basic projects are going to give you the highest value. And once you realize that, you can propose like, honestly, maybe some easy solutions that get really big impact.
How would you get to ensure that the VP and the higher ups notice the work that you're doing?
Absolutely. I think the first thing you want to do is, if you're a data scientist, you most likely own the end-to-end process, right? You're working on data engineering, you're working on data cleaning, you're working on the data science model. You're doing all of it. You need to show people that you're doing that. When you're delivering this, don't just like hand it off to an analyst and be like, hey, like, thanks so much. This is the output, build the visuals, and that's it. Because the analyst is going to get all the credit for building the visuals because that's what the business stakeholders are going to see. The VP's not looking at your code. They're looking at your presentation. You want to make sure you're the one on that presentation. And like, you have to talk, like whether that's like normal at your company or not, I feel like getting face-to-face time is like what you need to focus on. So that might be asking your manager to allow you to present the deliverable, asking your manager to allow you to work on the visuals, or like something like there needs to be extra effort post data science modeling where you're like, hey, this is a fantastic model. Create a couple slides of what this model is doing on the back end, like very easy, like visuals. Be like, hey, this model is like 95% accurate. We use this data and this is the result. And then like whatever that business use case is, you have to translate that value of your output to the business use case. Like, is this making money for the company? Are we retaining revenue? Why is this helpful? And present this. Because like at the end of the day, someone asked you for this project, right? Like whether it was an ask from a VP, whether it was your manager, whether it's your like manager's manager, someone asked for it. Someone needs a deliverable. Someone needs a presentation about it. So you should be the one presenting it. It's a lot of work. It's so much work, but it's so worth it because that's what's going to get you the promotion.
And don't forget to check out DataCam through the link below to get 25% off.